Il a insisté qu'il était le premier qui m'a enseigné à marcher sur le fil.
As foreigners learning French, what can we learn from actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt's maîtrise of la langue française? Alors, c'est exactement ça qu'on va voir aujourd'hui dans cette vidéo. Du coup, si vous êtes prêts, allez, c'est parti. Salut tout le monde and welcome back to French in Plain Sight. If you are nouveau or nouvelle here, bienvenue. Je m'appelle Alex and I'm an English guy turned French coach living in the south of France. Here in the channel, we talk about all sorts of stuff related to learning French, from grammar videos to talking about how to become a more confident French speaker and to celebrities speaking French like today's video that we're going to check out in just a second. In case you didn't know, I've done a number of these videos already, so you can always, at the end of this one, check out the rest of the playlist. We've covered people like Jodie Foster, Bradley Cooper and Gwyneth Paltrow, so go and check that out at the end of this one down in the description below. If you do enjoy this video, please don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up down below. It does help me spread the word to other French learners like yourself. I do absolutely love breaking down the French that English-speaking celebrities speak, as I think it helps us as learners develop more confidence in our own ability and of course learn new ways to express ourselves. So today we're going to be looking at one interview from American actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt as he's talking about the film The Walk, which came out in 2015. Just to give you some context, I have already watched this clip and I've made some notes about my favorite parts of this interview. So without further ado, let's get into the video. On y va?
Bonjour à tous, c'est à New York que nous sommes avec Joseph Gordon-Levitt pour parler de Rêver plus haut, c'est le titre français de The Walk. Joe, bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va?
Ça va et toi?
Oui, merci.
Nerveux de parler français avec moi?
Ouais, un peu, mais ça m'intéresse beaucoup. Oui, c'est quoi le titre en français?
Very nice start, very polite. He does look a bit nervous, and the guy asks him that indeed. Nerveux? And then he's about to answer, but I like how he starts off very clear with oui and goes straight with a ça va.
Joe, bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va?
Ça va et toi?
Oui, merci.
Very comfortable, very appreciated by French people just to throw in a ça va at the start of an interaction. I found it even surprises some people, particularly in a formal setting. If you just ask them vous allez bien, they really don't expect it, and it sets off the conversation nicely, which can help when you know you're going to speak broken French.
Joe, bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va?
Ça va et toi?
Oui, merci.
And then the guy responds to his ça va with oui et toi. And I found it interesting, straight away he's using toi with this actor. Usually they'd be using vous in this situation, but it's becoming more and more common for toi to be used as the rules of language sort of get relaxed, even with French. But even so, I still found that quite telling.
D'abord, bravo, parce que c'est la première fois en 20 ans à Los Angeles que je vois un acteur américain qui arrive à me faire croire qu'il est français.
C'est la première fois qu'un acteur américain arrive à me faire croire qu'il est français, which is a huge compliment. It's the first time that an American actor has made him believe or led him to believe that he's actually French. So that sets us up by thinking he's going to be a really good French speaker.
Merci.
Ça a été un travail difficile pour toi?
Ouais, c'est beaucoup de travail, mais si je suis arrivé avec cet résultat, ça me dit beaucoup pour avoir un Français comme vous dire ça. That's what I wanted. That was what I wanted.
So here there's a few things. He says, si je suis arrivé avec ce résultat. I like how he said suis. Si
je suis arrivé.
So this is je suis, and in everyday spoken French at that regular speed, you just hear suis. So I kind of advise you, because you're just going to be saying je suis all the time, you know, I am, even at the most basic level, you can just turn it into suis right away. And then suddenly you feel really cool about speaking fast French.
Si je suis arrivé avec cet résultat, Ça veut dire beaucoup.
So he continues that with je suis arrivé avec cet résultat. So he wasn't sure about the gender there, but anyway, he picked both of them and went with it. And then he says, ça me dire beaucoup.
Ça veut dire beaucoup.
And I can only imagine that he actually means to say ça veut dire beaucoup, or like, but that means a lot to me. But here, it's understood what he's saying, but actually, we don't use ça veut dire to mean something like emotional. You know, we would say ça signifie beaucoup. It signifies a lot. It means a lot. Or c'est très touchant. Or ça me touche beaucoup. So there's lots of ways you could say that that are more appropriate than ça veut dire beaucoup. I think he's still a bit nervous warming into the interview.
So thank you.
Parlons un peu de Philippe Petit.
Oui.
Est-ce que tu l'as rencontré? Oui. Et comment c'était? Ou qu'est-ce qui était le plus intéressant dans la rencontre? Tu peux parler en anglais si c'est plus facile.
Il a insisté que...
First of all, the guy asked him a question, first one about the film, and then he says, you know, tu peux parler en anglais si tu veux.
Tu peux parler en anglais si c'est plus facile.
Il a
and then he's already in French mode and he's clearly thinking about the answer. I love that he's persisting, he's there ready and excited to speak French. So that's great. We should always be excited to speak French knowing that we're still a learner and this is going to be bumpy, right? You just get your head in French mode and go with it.
Il a insisté que il était le premier qui m'a enseigné marcher sur le fil.
So here he's talking about the real life Philippe Petit that he has played the role of, and when he was first meeting the guy, and he's repeating what Philippe told him. And he said, il a insisté qu'il était le premier qui m'enseignait marcher sur le fil.
Il a insisté que il était le premier qui m'a enseigné marcher sur le fil.
Now here, even if I'm not sure of the most natural way of saying this, I just think there's some grammar to talk about here that we could easily improve. So here, he's talking about something that happened in the past and he's reporting that speech. So he said, il a insisté que, that's fine. He insisted that. And then you would use the conditional to say he would be the first person to teach me how to walk on the rope, because it's a film about walking a tightrope between two skyscrapers. So it would be better to say il a insisté qu'il serait le premier qui m'enseignerait à marcher sur le fil. And that's more grammatically correct. And then we can go further with that and make it even more natural. But that's basically the next level, just to make it more grammatically correct, if not super native. So remember, there are these levels. You know, a lot of people want to be fluent, and that's great. Want to be fluent and native, but there's a lot of ways of being correct without being native. So always remember that you are progressing, and you can feel very good about the French you speak, even if what you just let out of your mouth is not exactly what a native would say. As a foreigner, you're going to have this for years. You're going to say stuff that people would not necessarily say to each other between two natives, and that's fine. That's part of your identity. Bref, let's just play that again with my suggestion for a correction at the same time as what he actually said.
Il a insisté que il était le premier qui m'a enseigné marcher sur le fil.
Okay, on to the next bit.
Et il m'a dit, après 8 jours, tu vas marcher toute seule. Et je me dis, c'est ambitieux, on dit ça.
Ouais, ambitieux, ouais.
Et, mais il avait raison.
Waouh. Je suis vraiment impressionné par son français.
Merci.
Là, tu m'épates. Hein.
I love this, and it makes me think, you know, everything is relative, you know, relative to where you are, relative to your situation, relative to your level, relative to how hard you are on yourself. You know, I see him, I think he's speaking good French in the circumstances, he's making grammatical errors, and I qualify great French as a mixture of having a good grasp of the grammar, not perfect, good grasp of the grammar, and the ability to make yourself understood even when you don't know exactly what to say, and that's exactly what he's doing. But I wouldn't say it's excellent. I wouldn't say it's super impressive. It depends on the other person's expectations, and I think that people's expectations of English natives speaking another language is quite low because we never really do it on the big stage. This guy is really impressed by him. You know, he had to think. He's like, je suis très impressionné par son français, and he looks at the camera, and then he says, là tu m'épates.
Je suis vraiment impressionné par son français. Là,
merci.
Là tu m'épates.
And I had to look that up, and it means you amaze me, right? Which is obviously very flattering, but I wouldn't have gone that far, but you can see that that's very natural for him, and he really means it.
Là tu m'épates.
So remember that, you know, you're your worst critic about your French, but you should get some outside counsel once in a while, just to show you that you're actually probably much better than you think you are. If, of course, you generally think that you're not as good as you could be. So just remember that. Alex's opinion about what makes a good French speaker as a foreigner is someone who has a good grasp of grammar, wants to improve, but knows ultimately in the moment you need to know how to just make your point, and you're able to get your point across, make yourself understood, se faire comprendre in the moment.
Mais est-ce que ça change la manière dont on voit la vie et probablement la mort quand on devient papa?
Plus lentement, pardon.
Est-ce que ça change ta façon de voir la vie et la mort quand on devient papa?
Oui.
I really like this. Honestly, it's maybe a small thing, but I think it deserves so much more attention. It's the ability and the willingness to say when you don't understand. Here, maybe we could say he's under the lights, his interview recording, like he has to like say it because he can't just fake his way through it. But he wasn't afraid to say when he didn't understood. He didn't switch to English. He went with something very simple. He could have maybe said something with s'il te plaît or s'il vous plaît, but he went with something very simple. Plus lentement, pardon. Plus lentement, pardon.
Plus lentement, pardon.
Est-ce que the other person then repeats slower and he can understand? You know, this is a very massively underrated skill when you're learning French or any foreign language for the first time. You need to be able, your ego needs to be able to say when you don't understand, maybe not even just once, but twice. Very, very important, and he did it really well here. Not perfectly either, but he did it with a smile and some, you know, he's humble, so it comes across like it would come across with you or I if we're genuinely a bit embarrassed to have not understood.
Oui, bien sûr.
De quelle manière?
J'ai beaucoup de peur de tout, parce que c'est pas seulement moi dans ma vie.
He's really made to think, you know, like what changes when you become a dad in terms of how you see life and death. I mean, when you usually struck with that question, you'd have to think about it even in English. So to stay calm and answer that in French is a test. And I like taking, you know, private just conversation classes with the tutor to be able to be put in those situations. You know, it's great when you're complimented about how you speak, but you regularly need to be pushed a bit out of your comfort zone to be okay with taking your time and thinking about answers. And you know, he had to take a few seconds there, but he did it really well.
Est-ce que ça change la manière dont on approche le cinéma quand on joue un personnage qui existe vraiment?
Oui, parce qu'il faut honorer le personne réel, et j'ai dit ça à Philippe. J'ai dit, je veux que t'aimes le film. La public, oui, mais vous.
D'accord.
He gets mixed up between tu and vous. You know, when you start with one, just stick with it. He said tu Philippe. Again, the guy that he's interpreting in the film. He said je veux que t'aimes le film.
Je veux que t'aimes le film.
Je veux que tu aimes le film, but in everyday speech we don't say tu, we say t apostrophe if it's a vowel following it. So je veux que t'aimes le film. And he then goes further and says, le public, oui, c'est important, mais vous. Like to emphasize that I want you to like the film, but he went with vous this time when he'd previously used tu.
Je veux que t'aimes le film. La public, oui, mais vous.
So, yeah, not terrible, but noticeable.
Et en fait, il y a quelques semaines, il m'a appelé.
Like this. Il y a quelques semaines. So I did a video on this in one of my shortcuts videos, which I'll link up here. Il y a becomes ya in normal spoken French. So, you know, il y a, there is or there are, or in this case it means ago. So il y a quelques semaines, I think he said, just becomes il y a quelques semaines. Il y a quelques semaines. So it shows that he's got practice with natives for sure.
He spoke to me in English, and he said, Joe, I just wanted to call you, and I wanted to call you first before I told anybody else that I loved the film. I loved it, and I loved what you did. I loved how you honored the work of art. And
what does everyone think of his French accent when speaking English, his interpretation of Philippe? Let me know down in the comments. I think it's quite good. It's quite cute.
Il est franc. Il est français et il franc. Et il est honnête. Et si il n'aimait pas le film, il n'aurait pas m'appelé, je crois.
So here is interesting because he makes a grammatical mistake, again, not a serious one, because I think because of how we incorrectly use English grammar. So he says, if he didn't like the film, he wouldn't have called me. That's what he's translating in his head. But in fact, I think the correct English would be, if he hadn't liked the film, he wouldn't have called me. So he's translating the incorrect one in English to French. So he said, s'il n'aimait pas le film, voilà, that's the first part. S'il n'aimait pas le film, but it should have been s'il n'avait pas aimé le film, if he had not. It's the direct equivalent, is the plus que parfait in French with the past perfect in English, I believe. So that's the first part corrected. S'il n'avait pas aimé le film, il m'aurait pas appelé. Il m'aurait pas appelé. So he put the me in the wrong place. It should be before the auxiliary verb of avoir. Again, it's this past conditional. It's quite advanced. If you're not really used to saying it, you probably have to translate it before and then obviously make a mistake. But it's one of those things, like with everything, the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes where to put the pronoun. And then like he's been doing throughout the interview, he's used very natural French. He didn't include the ne, even though he's saying a negative sentence in both parts, a negative construction in both parts of the sentence. So instead of saying s'il n'aimait pas le film, il ne m'aurait pas appelé, he said s'il n'aimait pas le film, il m'aurait pas appelé. Voilà. Voilà, c'est tous mes commentaires sur le français de Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's one of my favorite actors, so it's really cool that he also speaks French, and he speaks decent French. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do let me know down in the comments what you enjoyed the most. Remember to comment on his French accent when speaking English.
I wanted to call you, and I wanted to call you first before I told anybody else.
But what did you learn from this video? What are you going to be able to start integrating into your French? I can't wait to hear your ideas. Don't forget to hit that like button if you did enjoy it. It helps me spread the word to other French learners like yourself. Also, don't forget there is a playlist of other videos just like this down in the description, which you can go and check out now. Sign up to my newsletter if you want to get your hands on a free copy of my How to Become a Confident French Speaker guide based on 6 techniques that I've had to implement in my own learning journey. Oh, and by the way, let me know down in the comments if next week you'd like to see another video on another celebrity speaking French, or would you like to see something different, perhaps my thoughts on whether the DELF and the DALF exams are worth it. Let me know down in the comments. Merci beaucoup à tous mes supporters ici sur la chaîne YouTube et ceux qui me soutiennent sur ko-fi.com. Je vous remercie tous et j'aurais pas pu créer cette vidéo sans vous. Mais jusqu'à la prochaine fois, merci beaucoup d'avoir regardé. À la prochaine. Ciao.